Hey guys, today we're going to be reviewing the Japanese version of Raiders of the Lost Ark VHS cassette and the movie pamphlet that was offered in theaters at the time. And that's coming up in just a moment. Hey guys, welcome back to the 5-Hour Show. I'm your host Raymond, and today, like I said before, we're doing a physical media review on the Japanese version of Raiders of the Lost Ark VHS tape and the movie pamphlet. Okay, and let's get started with the cassette first. Put the pamphlet aside for a moment. This is the Japanese version, and in Japan it is named Raiders Ushinawareta Ark. Again, that's what Raiders of the Lost Ark is in Japanese. Now, what you see here is actually the 1988 version of the artwork. This is a later reissue of the VHS tape. It was, of course, by Paramount, and it's released in Japan by C&C Video. Okay, on the spine, you can see that they got artwork of Indy, and it says Raiders Ushinawareta Ark, and this hi-fi stereo, CNC, VHS. Now, the price on this is 3,280 yen, but originally it would have been somewhere in the ichiman sanzen, ichiman gosen gurai. So that's about 130, 150 bucks for the original cassette, and I am still looking for that original art. So, VHS version. On the back, you can see it says Raiders in the little box there. You see this artwork here with Indy climbing down that Egyptian statue, Indy and Marion, and then a close-up of Indy here. And of course, everything in Japanese down here, explaining the movie, the cast, and the story. Down here, you see that it says 1988 Artwork and Design, Cinema International Corporation. Of course, the movie was released in 1981, but in Japan, while in the US it was released in June, in Japan the movie was actually released 6 months later on December 5th, 1981. Okay? So, with that, let's look at the inside, and you'll notice that it comes with a pamphlet. And again, it says Raiders Ushinawareta Ark. And again, you can see that it has the exact same artwork of the cover of the VHS. Now, on the inner pamphlet, you have the same photos from the back of the VHS tape. Here you have Indy climbing down that Egyptian statue. You've got Indy and Marion, and on the back you have the same exact picture of Indy in a close-up. And again, you know, all that information. 1988 artwork, Cinema International Corporation. Okay, so that does it for the pamphlet. Okay, and for the cassette itself, again, copyright, program unauthorized, duplication prohibited, pre-recorded, VCT use only. I am not exactly sure what all those things mean, but it's a VHS tape, that's for sure. On the side of the spine, it says Raiders, and then in English, it says Raiders of the Lost Ark. So for some reason, the Japanese version of the Lost Ark has been omitted. Ushinawareta Ark is not on there. And again, you have all that information. The cassette itself is actually made in Japan. On the inner, it has a number which is D4B2, and it's on the inside here and on the inside here. And that does it for the physical media review of the VHS. And now let's get on with the pamphlet, and that'll be up in a moment. Alright, now that we're done with the VHS, let's get started with the movie pamphlet. Now again, The movie Pamphlet depicts art that was offered in the cinemas only, as far as I know. This pamphlet has artwork that I've never seen on a VHS tape or anything else except on this pamphlet. Of course, it's Raiders of the Lost Ark up here in English, but at the bottom it has the Japanese Raiders Ushinawareta Ark. And as you can see, you've got the art here and artwork here and all that. You got Indy and Marion on the top, surrounded by pyramid, you know, whatever. Now, this is not a glare. Those others are glares. This is actually the Ark of the Covenant itself. And what it is the art depicts it as a glare. And that's kind of strange. I think they should have shown a little bit more of the Ark, but I guess they didn't want to spoil it. So that's the actual Ark right here across with the two cherubims right here. Okay, so let's get started with the book. They're talking about some of the people that are doing the movies, Spielberg and Lucas. Here's a black and white of Indy. You know this scene, guys. Whipping that whip. Here's the color intro. Really nice. It's just color pictures of the movie itself. Here you got a close-up of Indy and Marion and a bunch of the other characters. You know, action scene. And Marion's hanging from that statue. Indy's trying to catch her. Next page. Okay, you got the directors again, George and Mr. Spielberg there. You got the Peru 1936 Peru adventure where Indy is being chased by that boulder down the middle. You got all that little goodness of pictures from the opening scene. Here you have the story. This is what it says, story. Here you have the Nepal. That's what it says, Nepal. That's when Indy goes to look for Marion to get that jewel. Otherwise, none of this would have happened. You got a really good close-up of Indy here in Egypt. This is talking all about Harrison Ford or, you know, Indiana Jones. This is Cairo. This says Cairo here. And this is all of the adventure that happened in Africa. Or, you know, Cairo, Egypt. Sorry. And then you've got more black and white pictures. And more explanation of the... what it says here is the pulp story. Okay, so it's just, you know, the core of the story. Okay, I cannot read this, I'm sorry guys, but I'm guessing this is about when Indy discovered the location of the Ark. And here you have a close-up of Salah and Indy and the discovery. Here you have the names of the actors of the main characters: Karen Allen, Paul Freeman, Ronald Lacey, John Rhys Davies, Denholm Elliott, and Wolf Collar. If I mispronounced any of their actors' names, it's by no means out of disrespect. Next page. Okay, here we have more scenes in Cairo. And then you have that scene where Indy and Marion blow up that jet. That Nazi jet, which was really cool. I had that once. I mistakenly sold it, not knowing what it was. Anyway, here you have more of the people that had to do with making the movie. The, you know, the staff profiles. And I'm not sure what this is saying, to be honest, but I'm guessing they are talking about the Ark and, you know, maybe how they find it or how they're looking for it and whatnot. Nice pictures. Here is yeah, of course, the movie had a Nazi presence. Here you have all the people on the pirates and the Nazi boat, the U-boat, and capturing or infiltration of the Nazis. And then again, oh, that's a given. Production notes. with the directors and the writers. And here you have spoilers. The ending of the movie. So here you have Belloc. Here you have Belloc. And you have Indy and Marianne and all the Nazis when they actually open up the Ark. Here's a close-up of when Belloc threatened Indy to go ahead, or dared Indy to go ahead and blow up the Ark with an RPG. And then at the end you have everything else, the staff, the cast, and all that other information, all those little goodies. There was some kind of an event here for 800 yen, roughly $8, but I don't know what it was. I'm sorry, guys. Here, though, is the original art, and this is the original motion picture soundtrack, and that is the cassette tape, which to this day has eluded me. I've been in Japan for almost 7 years, and I have still yet to find this cassette. So yes, it does take a while, but those were what were offered at the time of the movie's release. You can buy the soundtrack, you can buy the cassette tape, you know. And on the back you have Indy jumping on one of the trucks, the Nazi trucks. And so that does it for the physical media review of Raiders of the Lost Ark, the Japanese version. And I'd like to throw in my 2 cents. The movie itself, as a fantasy movie, was just great. I loved the action, the adventure. It's a wonderful movie. It's a great movie. But to me, it's a fantasy, okay? And I'll explain to you why. I like to read the Bible, and so when you compare fantasy with reality, and to me the Bible is reality, you'll notice that when Indy and Salah locate the Ark of the Covenant, they hold it up. And then throughout the end of the movie, they're just carrying that Ark left and right all over the place. And so to me that seems a little bit unrealistic, because there is a passage in the Bible that talks about that specifically, and I want to show that to you. It won't take long, just a quick minute. Okay guys, so here we are at BibleGateway.com, and I use the King James Version, and here is a search bar, but here is the Bible book list. So today let's go to 2 Samuel chapter 6, and let's read real quickly. We'll start at the beginning, of course. Again, David gathered together all the chosen men of Israel, 30,000. And David arose and went with all the people that were with him from Baal of Judah to bring up from thence the ark of God, whose name is called by the name of the Lord of hosts, that dwelleth between the cherubims. And they set the ark of God upon a new cart, and brought it out of the house of Abinadab, that was in Gibeah. And Uzzah and Ahio, the sons of Abinadab, drave the new cart. In other words, Uzzah and Ahio were pushing the new cart with the Ark of the Covenant on it. And they brought it out of the house of Abinadab, which was at Gibeah, accompanying the Ark of God, and Ahio went before the Ark. And David and all of the house of Israel played before the Lord on all manner of instruments made of fir wood, even on harps, and on psalteries, and on timbrels, and on cornets, and on cymbals. In other words, all of Israel was like having a party. They're walking the cart with the Ark of God on it. And when they came to Nachon's threshing floor, Uzzah put forth his hand to the ark of God and took hold of it, for the oxen shook it. What this is saying is that Uzzah, one of the Israelites, touched the ark of the covenant because the oxen had shook it off. In other words, it came down. The ark was on the cart, but it came crashing to the floor, and Uzzah tried to hold it up with his hand. And here we are. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Uzzah, and God smote him there for his error. And there he died by the ark of God. And David was displeased because the Lord had made breach upon Uzzah, and he called the name of the place Perazuzah to this day. So what this is saying is that God got angry because Uzzah touched the Ark of the Covenant, and he shouldn't have. Now, you're saying, well, if the Israelites cannot touch the Ark of the Covenant, then who can? The Bible says in other chapters that the only ones that can touch the Ark of the Covenant are the Levites. God appointed the Levites, who are Israelites, but the Levites are the holy ones, the holy Israelites, that can touch the ark. Uzzah was not supposed to touch the ark, but he did, and he angered the Lord. And so the Lord smote him. He killed him there. And David was afraid of the Lord that day and said, how shall the ark of the Lord come to me? So we'll stop there. So that's one of the things I wanted to let you guys know, is that by all means, Salah and Indy should have been smote just for touching the ark that day when they found it. That's the realism of this. Now, if you say, well, it's just a movie. Yeah, it's just a movie, but it's just a movie about the Ark of the Covenant. And the real Ark, if you touch it, you will be smote. Now, the other thing I wanted to say was that in Revelations chapter 11, verse 19, and the temple of God was opened in heaven, and there was seen in his temple the ark of his testament. And there were lightnings and voices and thunderings and an earthquake and great hail. Now what this is saying is that in verse 19, and the temple of God was open in heaven, and there was seen in his temple the ark of his testament. What this is saying is that in the movie, Moses, or Indy finds the version that Moses had built according to God's specifications. But the one on earth, the real one out there, is only a copy of the one that resides in heaven today. So, that's it, guys. That's my 2 cents. Let's get back to the video. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed that 2 cents that I had to put in. Again, the movie was great. I loved it. I always did. As a kid, we watched these kind of movies all the time. But I also did go to church every Saturday, But the thing is that when you get older, you start making the connections. Yeah, Indy and Salah should have been smitten. Sorry, guys, I said smote, but it's actually pronounced smitten. So yeah, those guys should have been. I think anybody and everybody that touched that ark should have been smitten. Should have been wiped out. Yeah, so you can't be playing around with God. He's not a toy at all. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review. I enjoyed making it. Once again, thank you for coming to the show. Thank you for watching. I'd like to ask you to please consider subscribing. Share, like, leave comment. Let us know what you think. Thank you for coming. God bless you all. And I will see you guys on the next episode of the 5 Hour Show. Take care. Have a good one.